Hello guys, welcome to Lone Star Ranch. My name is Brad. Thank you for watching. This is the newest improved YouTube channel. Some of you may have seen my previous YouTube channel. It was doing great and it was doing pretty decent. We had about 483,000 subscribers around there. But the monetization, even on just urban and rural survival and watercraft and talking about pews for survival and building guns and all that stuff, it was just the monetization was heavy. And I just decided, you know what? YouTube wins. I quit. I quit. Plenty of other people doing it. They can handle its monetization. I'm not Donald Trump. After a certain point, I can't take it. I give up. I quit. But we're back and better than ever before because this thing's going to be even more better and it's going to be even better. So let's get to it, shall we? So we're going to be talking about building out your medical bag for bugging out for survival. You will have a medical bag that you keep at your house, one you keep in your car, and then normally when you keep on your person, like an IFAK or something. Maybe you keep your IFAK in your car too, but it's better if you keep it on you. So let's just go through. Some of you who had seen the other videos that we'd made on the previous the YouTube channel saw this bag, but you didn't see this on the back. This is an IFAK that I built. I put together myself, and then I just put it on the back of my combat medic bag. It adds more weight to the whole bag overall, and I don't normally carry my bag with the IFAK attached to it. I just keep it there. That way they're all, my IFAK and my combat medic bag are all in the same place. We're going to go over these microphones right here. This is a Jedi microphone, Motorola. This is typically used by the Motorola HT1000, JT1000, JT2000, MT2000, MTS2000 flash ports, XTS radios, the 1000, the 1500, 2000, 2500, 3000, 3500, 4000, 4500, and 5000 series of radios. Although there's a much better microphone for this, which doesn't negate me the need to have the radio close by where I can touch it and change the channels. That would be the Commander's 2 microphone. As you can see, we have it connected to an MTS2000 flash port Model 1. The Model 2 of the MTS2000 flash port would have the screen here and limited keys or keypad or full keypad. Now they make some of these right here with the little screen here and full keypad right here. They also make some HT1000s. The HT1000s, the JT1000s, the JT2000s, which have no screen whatsoever, but they have full keypad. I have an HT750 with no screen but a full keypad. I don't know what the full keypad and the P1, P2, P3 is for. I don't know. I've never. They made them in those types of radios limited supply. But what this Commander's mic has, it has a built-in rechargeable battery for the GPS that's on here. Now, obviously, this radio can't access the GPS device on this radio. That's why it goes. You turn it on and it does. Then it's so beep, which lets you know it works. Then it tries. Then this little accessory thing where I plug in the accessory port that this mic is connected to tries to access the GPS device, and here it can't because this radio is solid. So it goes beep 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 beep, like really muffled beep 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 beep. Then a loud beep, and then it's done, which lets me know it tried to access the GPS device, but it can't. But it still charges the battery. The man down button works though on this radio. The change the channel knob up here still works. You have your push to talk. You have your this button, second button from the push to talk, which allows you to turn on the light. Here on the screen, it also allows you to flip it around, so if your radio is like this, facing you, then you can see it. The words are facing you this way, but if your radio is like this, in a holster, and the words are facing out this way, the name of your frequency is facing out this way, you press and hold that button, it flops around to where it's facing this way. And then the last button is just a button you push and let go, and it goes beep, or you press and hold for as long as when it goes beep, and it basically allows you to hear a beep tone to see how loud the volume is changed to. This is game changers because I can have this radio in the back of my bulletproof vest when I'm communicating with first responders with my now. This is a VHF 81911 county radio here from Montgomery County, and I just put it in the back here. I don't have to touch it. I just have this. I switch to frequency. I push the talk. I use the man down. Everything. It works perfectly. Now, for many Motorola ham radios, when you have VHF 1 or VHF 2, which is VHF 2 is high band VHF, you don't need to put it in trunking mode to activate the you don't need to have it in trunking mode to use the man down feature. Some of the new radios like the XTS radios require you to do that. If you have UHF 1, UHF 2, 700, 800 megahertz or 900 megahertz. The older radios like the HT 1250, the 750, 1250Ls pluses, the X radios, the 1550 XLSs. These are all UHF 1, UHF 2. They don't require you to have it in trunk mode to have that the man down enabled. You can have it enabled in conventional mode, but some of the other radios do not allow you to do that. So that's just one thing to consider. The man down again sends an emergency SOS distress signal over the airwaves, and it looks for either a base station ham radio or a vehicle ham radio, and then it makes that radio go beep 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 beep, and that radio receives the SOS signal and then sends a signal back to your radio acknowledging it. And if you have acknowledge system programmed on this radio, then when the base station ham radio, the vehicle ham radio that receives this SOS transmission sends a signal back saying, "We hear you. We acknowledge you have received your SOS transmission. We acknowledge that you have a problem." Your radio goes beep 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 beep, and it says acknowledge. So that's a really good thing. Now there are no microphones for these particular radios, even made by third-party companies that have a channel knob on top. So having something like this, you need to have this close to you on your bulletproof vest, somewhere like here or here or here. You can easily just grab it and flip to different frequency. Okay? So, keeping track of your stuff is key. Keeping track of your stuff is very, very key. Tablets. It's a very good thing to have. So this is a Sprint Samsung Galaxy Tab 3. And it has the original OtterBox thing. I don't know what that is. And you flip out like this, set it down like this, use it like a laptop, kind of, sort of, blah blah blah. Or I can have it like this, blah blah blah. Fold it back down, just in there. And it's great. Now, why do I get this? Because I used to have my Sprint Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, or no, I'm sorry, this is a Sprint Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Standard, and this phone used to be used for cataloging everything I have in my Combat Medic bag, and then having a separate note page for everything I have cataloged in my IFAK. And this phone would keep track of everything. I have it in the original triple layer protection OtterBox case with the clip, and the clip would clip somewhere here on one of these little loops, or on one of the loops on the other side of my pack, my Combat Medic bag. And if I had to use a particular item, then I would mark it as being used, or I would go back and, let's say I have 10 quick clot gauze bandages and I have to use one. Well, then I erase the number 10 and then type in 9, and I put in parentheses used one. So then I know, and then I have a specific page and notes that tells me what is the minimum amount of everything I'm supposed to have in my Combat Medic bag and my IFAK. This thing now uses, this Sprint Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Standard uses my T-Mobile service now, because Sprint turned over to T-Mobile, and I was using a Sprint Samsung Galaxy Note 5, but T-Mobile gave me a Samsung Galaxy S20 with 5G, but that screen is flickering now. I'm going to have to get it looked at this weekend. So I did the unthinkable sin, the most heinous crime a Sprint fan can do, put a T-Mobile SIM card in a Sprint phone, but at least my friends, family, coworkers, bosses can get a hold of me. I'll put the Sprint SIM card back in when I'm done and get it back with a Sprint, so it can just roam on Verizon. And then I have a backup, the Samsung Galaxy Note first generation, or Note i717. The first generation Galaxy Note, which was available only in US version and international version, and the US version was only available for AT&T. So, again, communications with your 911 is key. That's why I have a 81911 radio. And then again, this radio right here, great for communicating with your peeps, your homeboys. Lug around these heavy metal nickel hydride batteries, or nickel hydride batteries, or even the lighter, more battery efficient lithium ion batteries and titanium, ultimate lithium, titanium power cell batteries. Still adds up a lot of weight when you have to have 4 or 5 or 10 or 8 of these batteries. So that's where this comes in. This is my original emergency 911 Coast Guard approved watercraft DC UHF radio kit. The radio's been beat to hell, so it needs a new housing. You see it's got tons of Gorilla Glue on it. It's cracked here and there. The guts have been coming out for a while. Some of these buttons no longer pushed anything. You know, it's just it needs a new housing. But I managed to scrounge and scavenge some of the components here are still usable. For instance, this thing right here is usable with any Motorola radio that's 1250 LS Plus, 1550 XLS, or 750. 10 batteries here, 2 batteries here, and plug it in. So, plug it in. And now you have continuous heavy usage for 3 days straight. Minimal light usage a week before you have 1 bar, and then you go and it's changing, the battery symbol changing from 1 bar to just an empty battery symbol flashing, and the video goes and it says low power. So still stays in my approved kit. This whole thing was actually a kit that you would buy on eBay for $450. It was Coast Guard approved for watercraft itchings. I bring this with me whenever I have to do watercraft itchings. This Pelican case is genuine, is military grade genuine Pelican case. It's waterproof, watertight, waterproof and airtight and watertight 100%. And has an automatic pressure that releases the pressure as this thing sinks and sinks more and more and more to allow it to equalize, so it doesn't fill up with water, it doesn't bust and explode. Stay tuned for part 2, guys.